read the books, you've taken the courses, you've listened to all the podcasts, you saved the Instagram posts, you've highlighted the chapters, filled the journals, and attended the workshops. You know what you need to do. You know the frameworks. You know the strategies. You know the mindset shifts, right? And yet, something isn't changing. Not the way you hoped, not the way you planned. You're consuming growth, but you're not experiencing it. That's personal growth mental load. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why it happens and how to finally turn everything you're learning into a life that actually feels different. Hey, I'm Tamberly, and I help professional women reduce mental load using the EOD system. So let's get into it. So, what exactly is personal growth mental load? You might be wondering. Personal growth mental load is the invisible cognitive and emotional weight of managing your own development. It's to tracking what you're learning, trying to implement it, feeling guilty when you don't, and carrying the gap between who you are right now and who you're trying to become. And it sounds counterintuitive, right? How can something designed to help you become a burden? So here's how. Personal growth becomes mental load when it shifts from a practice to a performance. When you're no longer growing for yourself, but managing your growth for an invisible audience. When every book you've read is a failure, every habit you dropped is evidence that you're not trying hard enough. Every workshop you attended but didn't implement is money and time wasted. And when personal growth becomes another thing to manage, to track, to optimize, and to feel guilty about it, it stops being growth, right? It becomes pressure. And we know pressure doesn't transform you, it exhausts you. So, why does this happen? Let me break it down. Here's why personal growth mental load lands so heavily on high achieving women. Reason number one, the consumption action gap. We live in the most information rich era in human history, right? There is more personal development content available right now than any one person could ever consume in a lifetime. We got books, podcasts, courses, YouTube channels, newsletters, master classes, all of it promising to help you become better, help you become smarter, more productive, more intentional, more successful. And so you consume because you're curious, because you care about your growth, because you want to be better. But here's the problem: consuming information is not the same as integrating it, right? Reading a book about habits doesn't create a habit. Listening to a podcast about boundaries doesn't set a boundary. Taking a course on mindset doesn't change your mindset. The gap between what you're learning and what you're actually doing, that gap is where the mental load lives. And the wider the gap, the heavier the weight. And reason number two, self-improvement treadmill. Personal growth culture has a hidden message embedded in it. You're not enough yet. Keep going, keep improving, keep becoming. And so for high achieving women, that message lands very hard because you're already wired to strive. You're already wired to push, wired to believe that if you just work a little harder, learn a little more, optimize a little better, you'll finally arrive somewhere that feels like enough. But the treadmill doesn't stop, right? There's always another book, another course, another framework, another version of yourself to become. So, the mental load of managing all of that, tracking your progress, managing the gaps, comparing yourself to who you were supposed to be by now is exhausting. Now, you're not failing at personal growth, okay? You're exhausted by the pressure of it. Then there's reason number three, the growth without integration. Here's it's the most practical one. Let's say that, okay? Most personal growth content teaches you what to do. Very little of it teaches you how to actually integrate it into a real life, a life that already has a job, a family, responsibilities, and limited time and energy. So you learn something powerful. You feel inspired, you make a plan, then life happens, right? And the plan fails apart, and you feel like you failed too. But you didn't fail. You just didn't have a system for integration. And that's the missing piece here. Not more information, not more motivation, a system for taking what you're learning and actually weaving it into your life. So that way it's consistent, sustainable, and without adding more pressure. That's exactly what the EOD system does, and I'm going to show you how. So here's how to close the gap between what you're learning and how you're actually living using the EOD system. The first step is to externalize. This is where we're going to get your personal growth mental load out of your head. So tonight I want you to do a growth brain dump. Write down everything that you're carrying in this area. Every book you feel like you should have finished, every course you bought but didn't complete, every habit you started and dropped, every goal you set and haven't moved forward on it, every version of yourself you're trying to become. And then I want you to write down this question: what am I actually trying to change? And why does it matter to me? Not what the book says you should change, not what the podcast says you should optimize. What do you want? What change will actually make your life feel better? So get it out of your head and get it on paper. Then you're going to organize. Step two, organize. Use AI to help you cut through the noise. Take your brain dump and paste it into ChatGPT. I'll drop a prompt in the description. Ask the AI to help you identify the one area of personal growth that would have the biggest impact on your life right now. Not the most impressive, not the most ambitious, okay? The one that would actually make a difference in your life daily. Then ask it to help you design a realistic integration plan, not a 90-day transformation program, okay? Just a small, sustainable daily practice that fits into your actual life. Now, the goal is not to consume more. The goal is to integrate just one thing deeply. So organize and use AI to help you focus. And the third step is to design. Create systems that make growth automatic, not effortful, okay? So here are 3 systems that you can use this week. All right, so the first system, the one thing rule. Stop trying to grow in 5 areas at once. Pick one, just one area of personal growth to focus on for the next 30 days. One book, one habit, one practice, one shift. Because when you try to grow everywhere at once, you grow nowhere. When you focus on one thing, you actually change. So here's a strip for yourself. For the next 30 days, I'm focusing only on blank. One thing. Everything else can wait. Your next system, the integration window. Here, you're going to schedule a non negotiable 15-minute daily window for growth integration, not consumption integration. Now, this is not reading time. This is the time you spend asking, what did I learn recently and how am I applying it today? It's the time that you journal, reflect, practice, or implement. Put it on your calendar, protect it. This is where real growth happens, okay? Not in the consuming, but in the integrating. And then system 3, the monthly growth review. Once a month, do a 20-minute personal growth review. Ask yourself 3 questions. Question 1, what did I learn this month that actually changed something for me? Question 2, what am I still consuming but not implementing? And do I need to let it go? And question 3, what's the one thing I want to focus on next month? This keeps you honest, okay? It helps you see real progress and it gives you permission to let go of the things you're carrying out of guilt rather than genuine desire. So pick one of these systems and start this week with it, okay? Just one and start there. So let me be a little honest with you for a second. I have been on the self improvement treadmill for a very long time. I know what it's like to have a shelf full of books that I have read. I have a folder full of courses I've have completed, and I got a notes app full of insights that I've never implemented. Okay, there was a point where I was consuming growth constantly, always jumping on the next new thing. And honestly, it was exhausting and it wasn't changing anything for me. Not in the ways that truly mattered anyway. Now, what shifted for me was realizing that the problem wasn't a lack of information for me, it was a lack of integration. I didn't have a system for taking what I was learning and actually weaving it into my life. So I sat down and I applied the EOD system to my personal growth mental load. And when I externalized everything I was carrying, organized it into finding the one thing that actually mattered, and designed a simple daily practice to integrate it, everything changed. Now, it wasn't because I learned something new. It's because I finally stopped running from one thing to the next and actually stayed with something long enough to take it to the root. Okay. And that's what I want for you. Not more books, not more courses, not more pressure to become someone you're not yet. Okay. So think twice before you go and purchase that next course or buy that next book. Because I'm sure you got stuff already there that you need to implement. So remember, just one thing, integrate it deeply over time, okay? And that's how you actually grow. So here's what I want you to do right now. If you want to try this tonight, download the free 20-minute EOD reset challenge. It walks you through all 3 steps: externalize, organize, design, so that you can identify one area of personal growth that actually matters right now and create a system to integrate it. Okay? The link is in the description. It's free and it takes about 20 minutes and it works. And I want to hear from you. Okay? What's the one area of personal growth you've been consuming but not implementing? So drop it in the comments and let me know. No judgment here, just honesty. And I read and respond to every single comment. And if this video helped you, hit that subscribe button. I post new mental load strategies, conversations every Tuesday and Sunday. And we've just finished the 8 life areas of mental load series. Okay. So if you haven't watched the other videos, head over and check them out. You've done the work of learning. Now let's build the systems to make it stick.
Thanks for watching. If you're designing a life less loaded, subscribe and join the community. Drop a comment below. I read every single one. See you next time.